Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever part of the day it may be for you and whatever part of the world. This is Dr. Don with another daily LightPoint. We're moving and shaking around these conversations, the fallacies of leadership. That's been our theme. We've been talking about those things that we've been misled to believe or we've developed biases around as it relates to leadership. That's what we're covering this week. I want to talk about the fallacy of leadership as it relates to this concept that leaders are born, they're not made. I've heard this saying over many years. Leaders are born, they're not made. It suggests that leadership and the traits and characteristics and competencies of leadership are innate to an individual upon birth. And the reality is, while there are genetic predispositions that may position a person to be perceived as a potential leader. There may be characteristics that suggest that an individual is going to be a leader. It's a dangerous concept to infer that only through birth can a person be a leader or connect with the idea of being a leader. The reality is, leadership requires nurturing the skills, the competencies, the behaviors, the mindset that equips a person to own what it truly means to lead oneself in their own life and lead others. Right? The premise that we somehow are only born with it is somewhat ridiculous because, frankly, our experiences in our developmental journey as children or as adolescents through adulthood shape our mindset or disposition, our skills and competencies. And while we may be gifted in certain areas that benefit our capacity as leaders, the concept of actual leadership requires investment in that developmental journey. Now, from birth, can you shape the propensity for someone taking on the capacity of a leader? Absolutely, right? It starts with the subtle things in the rearing of a child that starts to shape their mindset and equip them to understand the role of leadership and what it means. Keeping in mind that leadership isn't just a title or a function, but a capacity by which individuals live their lives. So, with that being said, yes, can you nurture the development around what it means to be a leader in one's life from birth? You sure can. But the idea that you're only born with it, well, that's just simply not true. Sometimes, as we grow and we develop, our connection to what it means to be a leader isn't even formed until our latter adolescent years or even adult years for some, where they have the right people, the right resources, and shape the right mindset around what it even means. Sometimes our greatest leaders start as our greatest followers, right? So the idea or premise that I'm born a leader just simply is a fallacy. So I leave you with this as you encounter or encourage others to lean into what it means to be a leader. Help them to first understand that it doesn't mean you always make those connections at birth. It doesn't mean that you're born already honed in what it means to show up and impact the lives of others or to own the outcomes in your own life. It takes intentional investment, nurturing, honing, education, and refinement around what that means. And I don't just mean formal education, I mean education through life's lessons that teach us the impact of what it means to be a leader. So I encourage you to share with others this premise of being born a leader is simply a fallacy, that their pursuit of leadership can be realized at any stage of their life, from the subtle things that we do to the most profound things that we do. With that being said, thanks for tuning in to another Daily Light Point. Join us tomorrow. We're going to keep unpacking these fallacies of leadership. We'll talk soon.